Hey everybody, it's Andy here, aka Montolio, and we're back for another Vintage League, and we're gonna play some Golos aggro. That's what I've been calling this. Basically, a no rod aggro deck. You got your patchworks, your stone coils, metal cysts, and Golos, in addition to your constructs of your saga tokens, and trying to lock your opponent out through null rod spheres, vexing baubles, etc. And deck has seemed reasonably well positioned. I did 5-0 with this list today, and of course have been having success with the 4 null rod builds for quite some time now. And yeah, we're going to take it in today, see if we can replicate our league earlier. The list just felt really smooth, so let's see how we do. Appreciate you hanging out as always, guys. If you haven't done so before, please like, comment, subscribe. I try and get back to everybody. We'll see you round one. Okay, guys, here we are in round one. Won the die roll. It's where we want to be. Yeah, I mean, it's not crazy great, but not the worst either. Wish we had a bit more of a controlling hand, but I have no idea what we're playing against, and this is just never a bad thing to do. Okay, we're just in. Doomsday. Okay. I mean, as long as they pass back, we have a chance here. I don't know this player or how skilled they are at navigating Doomsday, but it's not easy to win from this spot here. But I guess if they... Okay, they are passing turn. Let's see what we draw. Hopefully a sphere. Well, it just is what it is here. We're going to have to just hope they don't have anything. I'm not going to put too much focus on trying to figure out what they're doing here. Let's just see if we're even alive. Did they get themselves a land? They did. Okay. That's going to do it. Very clean win from them. Okay. Try something like this here. It's been a while since someone's rinsed me so quickly with Doomsday. Much better hand here. I don't know what that means. I'm going to Vexing Bauble. Force of Will. Okay. Throw out a sphere here. Okay. I mean, I'm not complaining. We obviously need to find some lands here. Not sure why they brought in Leyline. Maybe a misevaluation of what I'm doing, but they did see double Mox Wasteland Saga from me, so I'm not quite sure what that could mean. Play around days. Opponent has done quite well at keeping up with lands. Cannot play around days this time, but hopefully there's not a... Oh, they can't dig from here, but... They can preordain. They're doing real nice. We're going to need some help here, guys. That ain't it. Ah, that's what I was going to name too, Street Raid. All right. Probably don't need Needle in this matchup, but so what we need to draw now is an Academy, Mishra's Workshop, Urza Saga. These are all the cards I'm looking for. Wow. Into Ancestral. Jeez. I honestly think I'm behind here right now. Like, if they can cast something like a frog here, I could just die. If I can get this Golos going, it'd be pretty huge. All right, they're going in here. They can cast Doomsday right now. We're going to need some help here. It's very, very rare for Doomsday to be able to get out of the position that they've been put in this game, but we've just floundered too much. It's turn 7 and we have 2 lands. Academy would be good. Okay, well, probably pretty dead. I think that's every land in their deck. Doomsday, yeah. All right. I just can't believe Doomsday has been able to produce 7 lands. Incredible. I've never seen them have this many lands. I legitimately think that's every land that they're able to fetch. They have their own null rods. What is going on? Maybe they just ended up getting Hercs here. Yep. Can't quite kill me yet. Okay. Now we just die. They just cast the guy and I die. We went 11 turns, 10 turns, and found 2 lands. Yeah, crazy. Okay, here we are in round 2, and guess who we've run into? The exact same opponent. Yep, I'm going to keep this one here. Obviously, it's a real feel bad if they have a misstep, but just straight in all of that stuff. Okay, I'm going to play the strip mine. This thing hits the hardest. I guess what I could have done is played a snake there and then equipped it to the snake. But this one can't be countered by negation. Don't think I'm playing around days. They got a daze and want to set themselves back. I think it's fine. Okay. That's a little bit more how it's supposed to go. And I mean, my opponent even knew what I was playing. I mean, this hand's a bit risky, but if they counter my Lotus, it's a feel bad situation. But if they don't, I have the ability to draw another land as well. And they chose not to do that. So here's the thing. I don't know. I'm just gonna play this thing. I feel like I need to build up some mana here. Brainstorm, okay. They're forcing it. Wow. That's incredible. Okay, well, I mean, I'm going to try and get a sphere down here. They've just conceded. Wow. I don't think they should have, but a Sol land would have pulled me out of that. Okay, we're going to be a couple turns before we got our wheels turning, but I think we're probably going to win that. I feel that's kind of how the Doomsday matchup should go. I feel like Shops is pretty favored against it, but obviously that was not the case in round 1 we played. Okay, round 3. No idea what we're playing against here. My opponent has a variety of decks that they've played in Vintage. Oath of Druid, Shops. Lurrus of the Dream Den. Okay. A little bit of an awkward hand. I mean, really, we're just playing bobble and pass, but there it is, guys. That's what I got. I'm going to play the Nettle Cyst here because I really want the Crucible. It just resolves. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, is this Oath? That would be unfortunate. Frog. Okay, I can live with that. Land? Okay, well, can't be countered. So we need a bit of help here. We really desperately need to find a land. We took the black source there just because of removal. That was a good draw. Possible we get spell pierced here, but we just don't have the luxury of playing around that. They didn't have something last turn. I don't think there was any world where they would have let the Serpent resolve if they had something, but they had a turn to draw land and didn't get one. So I still cannot profitably attack through this, believe it or not. It would cost them their whole hand, though, and I think I might be okay with that. 5. Yeah, it would have to cost them everything. Yeah, I'm okay with that. They want to make a huge Psychic Frog that can't attack through my Snake. I think it's just fine. Hopefully this is not a Fatal Push. Or an Abrupt Decay. They can't Abrupt Decay it, though. Okay. Weird. Looks like Vexing Bauble was very effectual here. Just digging? Yeah, that's pretty good. That could get them through my Snake here. But I'm going to be very quickly attacking their mana base here. I guess they could play a Deathrite Shaman, which will mitigate that somewhat. Yeah, great. Okay. I feel like I got to crack my bauble here. It makes my guy smaller, though. Oh, I should have attacked to my Snake for a 2-turn clock, shouldn't I have? Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on my part. Yeah, that's pretty bad for me. Yep. I'm glad I didn't do that then. Boy, shrinking my guy down here, but I've just got to start getting some permanents going here. Okay, Saga was a good one. Okay. They got to be careful not to die here, because if I play the Ancient Tomb, cast the Null Rod, like make a Saga token, cast the Null Rod, for instance, that is lethal damage. Yep. They're just all in on it. I can respect it. What are they keeping in their hand there? Because this is now I'm the one who's on the clock. And if they can get a blocker here, that is enough for me. They're going to kill me. Okay, they've gotten rid of the fatal push. Wow. I need to get two more in here. And I think the best way to do this is I guess I'm not playing around days. If they got lucky enough to pull a days, that's pretty awesome for them. Okay, I guess Saga is the best way to go about this here. This will put it up to a 6, and then I play another Saga for 7. Whew, that was a close game, my goodness. Um, Psychic Frogs. Seal Primordium. I would imagine they would be having some trouble with Wormcoil Engines out of Lurrus Bug. I don't mind the needle for... Probably don't need all of those. I think Vexing Bottle's probably not at its greatest in this particular match. Because they're Lurrus, I do think Null Rod probably holds more weight than it would against just a regular deck. Trinisphere seems fine. I probably can cut a Thorn. Karak is probably not at its best. Let's try this. Actually, I think Dismember is probably just too important in this matchup. I realize I can set Chalice at 1, but let's try this, guys. I guess I'll try it. Okay. Don't really want to get buried underneath my own 3 ball. Just such an awkward position. But I guess I cast an Null Rod, right? Or do I just cast a Sphere here? And just try and hope to draw out of it. I mean, we have all the Sol lands in our deck. They don't have that. I realize they're +1 mana currently right now, but the Automaton's tough to remove. Jesus. Not looking great here. So we need mana. That goes without saying. My opponent has a mitt full of cards over there, so it's not optimal. Yep. Okay. Looking pretty brutal here, guys. I think they're missing land drops too. Psychic Frog is a scary one. I can attack through the Psychic Frog. Yeah, they can pretty much kill me here in 2 swings if they so choose to do it, and there's nothing I can do about it. I guess a snake is what I could do. If they go all in, I could find a snake. I have 4 of them in my deck, so yeah, we can scoop this one up. We're just not going to win this game. Go more about my business versus trying to remove their creatures. I have 2 Pithing Needles in my deck to stop Deathrite, and this hand's not very good, is it? So we've got back-to-backers of Sagas here, which are going to be pretty good. Some combination of a Wasteland Collector Roof could set me back into a bad position, but I got to get busy going about my business here. Obviously, drawing a strip mine there was not optimal, considering I was on back-to-back Saga plan. Really needed to draw something that I could cast right there. Yep, there it is. Perfect timing. All right, we just got to get busy going about our business here. Worm Coil is going to be really strong if I can get it into play in time. Yeah, Psychic Frog is pretty rough here. Have to take it, sadly. Gonna really need to win that mana crypt flip here. One, two, three, 4, 5. Too little, too late, guys. It's oh, oops. We need to find a land right here to try and get a worm coil in. Okay, that will work. Force of will. Okay. Yep. This is really close here. It's a nice one too. I'm gonna try and get this worm coil in just because of my life total here. Okay. All right. Wow, we won a tight one there. I didn't think we were going to get that game. We will take that one. Okay. Round 4. Won the die roll. We're going to keep this one. No idea what Danny's playing. I guess we'll see in a second. My typical inclination is to just go Ancient Tomb into Null Rod. Okay. No Lurrus, no Chancellor. I think I just lead on Null Rod. Opponent mulliganed. And I could see this getting countered, but we have another one next turn. It doesn't. So my opponent is going to play fair this turn, with all likelihood anyways. So this does feel like Doomsday, preordained basic island. Not to intone it couldn't be something else, but that's what it feels like to me. It's Doomsday. I'm going to play the. It's tough. The Nettlecyst has the highest ceiling on it. Maybe I do play the Nettlecyst here. And if they negation this, we can follow up with a Sphere of Resistance. Okay, my opponent did not bite there. And I could see this getting Force and Negation, this particular one, but we'll see. Okay, we're just in. I feel like they have an Ancestral here. That was actually a fantastic draw. Can't do it all. I feel like Golos is just the highest payoff here. I'm going to do it because it's going to resolve. Guess I'm going to get Strip Mine. Not the most mana efficient, and I realize Saga is going to close the window pretty quick too, but I feel like we've got things pretty well in hand here, and taking a land from them is going to be really strong. God forbid we find a second waste effect. Yeah, like if this is what they're doing, it's not likely to be good enough. We'll see. They did find a fetch too. Fetch is exactly what they wanted. They're going to have to discard a card here because a fetch will be able to counter one of my spells here potentially. They didn't counter it. They could gush here. Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to win from here with Null Rod in play in particular. Just an impossibility, really. I felt pretty good against Doomsday playing the Shops list. Not to put the cart before the horse here. We still got to be able to close this out, but I feel like the deck has been functioning quite well. This is very likely to be a consign. Or just a straight up Ancestral. Okay. We're going to play the Thorn here. I expect this to be Force of Negation. Okay, Force of Will even better. Mindbreak Trap is a good consolation prize to not finding another land there. You see, the thing is that every card that I drop in this deck is a bomb. And my opponent can't keep up with the forces forever. Land, please. Okay. If they got a daze, that sucks, but it just is what it is. Consign. I'm going to play the Null Rod here. It acts as a wasteland as well, and it keeps my Mindbreak Trap open. And keeps my mana open for next turn that I'm not underneath my own sphere. I hope I don't get punished for that, but I feel like Consign to Memory is just a better card than Steel Sabotage. I acknowledge that they function in different ways. Steel Sabotage can get you off out of a position where a permanent is on the table you have to get rid of, but I just feel like Consign is just so much more versatile. Well, I mean, that's a problem. Frog is a good one. Some Doomsday lists are audibling towards doing this now where they're casting frogs, and I guess I have to consider keeping my snakes in. Like, Snake is still just very good against Doomsday because it's a fast clock. Maybe I can get rid of my Nettle Cysts for the Snake. We need we need a we need a land here, like an academy or a workshop. I'd even settle for an ancient tomb. This is not what we want. I got to cast that on assist anyways. I just don't have a choice. Very likely to get countered here, but it just is what it is. Yeah. I mean, we're not dead here. We just need help. That's all. Land is really what we're after. Yeah, that was a really good spell for them. They had time walk here. But they're not attacking my life total very much here. I realize they could Doomsday me at any point, but 3 cards in hand. That can't bode well for me. Like, can you imagine? I played against that person in round 1 and round 2 for that matter on Doomsday that had every friggin' fetchable land in their deck in play. I don't think there's any reason to necessarily wasteland pre-hand. I think they're just going to dig end of turn. Or as a matter of fact, they might have Hurkyl's Recall is what they might have. And I'll just scoop their Hurks if they have it. I mean, let's find out, right? I just feel like there's a dig through time. No. Interesting. I mean, they can make their frog pretty big. I guess it'll be telling if they hold back. Okay, opponent's having a really good think over there. Okay. They're going to kill my... Oh, interesting. Okay. Doomsday, they're doing it. Okay. Well, if they can't kill me right now, and I'm not sure how they would kill me here right now. They play a land? No, they haven't, I guess. 2 cards in hand. They can fly over for an additional 1, but I kill them on a swing back, so they have to kill me right now, I think. Be interesting to see how they do it. Chain of Vapor into the Maw, perhaps. Even that is pretty tough because they still got to contest with either the Rod or the Sphere. Well, Doomsday can pull out some pretty crafty lines. So the fact that my opponent is going through this process here lends me to believe that they may be able to get out of this. But they're going to go down to 4 life here, and I'm swinging through for at least that much, and my patchwork will become a 5. Cannot be targeted. I mean, you can target it, you just won't be able to pay the ward on it. So they're getting an Underground Sea. Maybe that's what they do have, is they have a bounce spell, and they're going to send back my token. But they only have 2 cards in hand here, so my Mindbreak Trap could end up mattering. Yeah, they've conceded. I was going to say that would be a really tough spot for them to be able to win from. They were just looking to see if there was something they could do. Okay, nice win for us. We're 2-1 versus Doomsday in this league. Guess it's one of those leagues tonight. Another Doomsday match. That's 4 out of 5 matches tonight are Doomsday, and we played against the same player twice. So I don't really enjoy situations like this, but it is what it is. Our opponent just told me they started a draft and forgot to quit the vintage queue and are now double queuing. So I'll try and pause this in between, but this could be a little bit of a long video here, as you'll see by my opponent's clock going down, but we'll make the best of it. It's a bit of a tricky situation because us being on the draw here is a problem. And by keeping this hand, I'm anticipating going. I mean, my options are as I go Urza Saga into Vexing Bauble, my opponent can untap and potentially just kill me. The other option, though, the benefit of doing that is that I will get to untap Plain Ancient Tomb and resolve a Trinisphere, which is going to be very strong against my opponent. And then the following turn, I will get to untap, making an Urza Saga token, hopefully having found another land at that point off the top, and start casting my spells from there. I do think it's worthwhile trying it. I do struggle with double queuing in general. It's just such an awkward thing to hold your opponent hostage while you're double gaming, and I realize the clock is at your disposal, but it's I've always struggled with it because I am not someone that double queues typically, and the players that double and triple queue, they're the ones that just end up holding up tournaments all the time because they're playing several matches, and I do admit some players are better at it than others, but I find it frustrating because I'm just wanting to play this game and get this league done, and my opponent has spent the last 5 minutes playing another match. I do appreciate that they graciously told us that they're doing that, but do want to get on with my day. Okay, I am going to try this. I don't expect the bauble to resolve, but if it does, well, they're just going straight in. Okay. Well, that probably does not bode well for us. Excuse me. Let's see if we get to untap. And these are the difference sometimes between when you win die rolls and when you lose them. So what are we looking for? I think a Black Lotus would be our best draw. I'd be happy finding a Mishra's Workshop. Are they just going for it right now? So it looks like they've gone for a Gush kill. Let's see what we draw. Wouldn't mind a Mox. Okay, Sphere is probably not the best, but see, Vexing Bauble does stop Gush. Yeah, I mean, I do think it has to be Vexing Bauble. I hate to admit it. Yeah, they have it. Okay. I'm not gonna make my opponent play out. They had the counter spell there. It is what it is. All right. Well, they do have. I don't think Metamorph is what I want here. I probably do want some number of Stone Coils. Maybe cut a nettle cyst. Let's try this out. Okay, let's see if we can get one here. This one's not going to work. I like some of the cards in that hand. This is much, much better. Okay, we'll keep this one. So, this is not optimal, guys. My opponent's chomping at the bit right now because they're like, oh my gosh, that's their hand. And I don't blame them. But we're going to present a clock. We've got a strip mine and a mind break trap, and those are all pretty good cards. Okay, well, I don't really like that. Thorn is good, but I don't think it's what we're doing here. Could be dead. One. So I suspect that they probably have a steel sabotage, but we've got to go about our business here. And do we want to just get a pithing needle from one of their lands? I feel like they have a lot of answers. I mean, Vexing Bauble is pretty good, but my Mind Break Trap will be shut off. Means that Lotus will not be able to be recast if they use it. Or do I just hit one of their lands? Or the other option is I get a Soul Ring, attempt to cast my Thorn Amethyst. I'm not going to be able to get at anything they're doing here, like their land, so I could tap my Strip Mine. hard to know. The likelihood that that form was going to resolve is low. No, they just took it, so they're going for it here. They kept the card on top. Okay, interesting. Is this just a Herx or a Dig? Herx is pretty devastating if they have Herx, but I mean, what am I going to do? Gosh, interesting. Okay. Well, let's see what they can do. I mean, Vexing Bauble's no joke. They hard cast a Gush. That is quite incredible. But Lotus is turned off here. Yep. Okay. Nice win for us. Okay. That was a really tough decision, though, getting the Vexing Bauble over Pithing Needle over Soul Ring from the Saga. It's pretty awkward, isn't it? I'm going to keep it. And land off the top would be really good here for us. One, just going straight in on Doomsday. All right. Two. Well, they've had two turn one Doomsdays against me, both on the play. That can't bode well. The first one didn't go well for me, and I don't feel good about this one either, but I do have the ability to resolve a sphere resistance and hold up Mindbreak Trap through that, should it become enabled through 3 spells from my opponent, which is tough if the sphere resolves. Null Rod is an option for me if I feel like that's a desperate path that I have to take, but of course I do lock myself out of the game for likely a number of turns to try and get myself back in, and of course I will be limited in turns because my opponent has a Doomsday on the stack. Yeah, so there is a number of Underground Seas in their hand. They do have Black Lotus. And it is ancestral. So yeah, it's probably Not good for me. How many oracles? They used one oracle left. Okay, there's a possibility I can get them here. How many forces? One. Oh, wow. Okay, so they have two force of wills. One. So this is all bodes quite poorly for me. Love a wasteland. That'd be huge. Oh, wow. I'd love to cast a snake for one here, but I'm not going to. We just got to hope that this resolves. And they do have the force. Okay. Let's see how good that wasteland was. One. They probably are just going to get a force here anyways. Two. Let's see. Nope. Oh, nice. It worked. Wow. All right, guys. That felt great. We beat Doomsday 3 out of 4 times in this league, and I feel pretty good about it. And, in match 1, I don't even know what happened, but my deck did not do anything productive. And the remainder of the matches felt really good for me versus Doomsday. But, like, we beat 2 turn 1 Doomsdays on the draw, which ended up being pretty awesome, despite I did not think that would happen. Okay, well, solid 4-1. We went 5-0 and 4-1 today with this deck, and I wish I had played it in the Vintage Challenge today. I did not have a good Vintage Challenge with Bug, which I've had a lot of success with as well recently, but I seem to be in the cycle of that when I play Shops in the challenges. I don't do that. The last couple times I've not done that well, and same thing with Bug. I just seem to be in reverse order because today I think there was 3 Seer Shops in top 8. All right, guys. Well, listen, appreciate you hanging out. Like, comment, subscribe, and we're going to see you guys next time.